Dinky-Doo, everybody. It's just me, Scottie McCLUE, popping up for a quick chat with all of you. Thank you very much for joining me. Those of you who joined me on the other stream there, very, very much appreciated. And thank you for the fabulous feedback. I think that definitely we're probably looking at getting ourselves some new equipment there when the time is right. And the time is right now, I would say. The time is absolutely right now. Let me just see a little problem there. There we are. Is that a little bit better? Excellent. Much better, McClure. Aye, thank you, Tam. Ah, yes. Welcome back, says Kareem. Thank you very much, Kareem. Very, very much appreciated. But if you don't test these things, I mean, we wouldn't have had the Wright brothers, we wouldn't have had John Logie Baird, we wouldn't have had Henry Bell with the Comet, we wouldn't have had James Watt with Steam, we wouldn't have had Terry McAdam with the Rhodes, we wouldn't have had Robert Watson Watt with Radar, we wouldn't have had Simpson with Anesthetic, we wouldn't have had Lister with Antiseptic. So, you know, and the list goes on. The list is absolutely endless. The ultrasound, Sir John Crofton curing tuberculosis, you know, so we've got to do all these tests. Dinky-Doo, Scottie, J-Dog, thank you. Thank you very, very much. I think your solution is absolutely spot on. I think we're needing to replace the equipment, just start with the core items, get in there and start full on. I think that's going to be the answer to that, but that's not really. That's pretty good. You need a new laptop, I think, Scottie. That was too slow. I think you need a Wi-Fi upgrade. Maybe time for that, yes. We have got one of the big telecommunication companies' finest packages. I won't go into that at the moment, but perhaps it's, you know, we've had it for quite a long time now. So that might be the next step, just to get the speeds up, because obviously all this sort of jumping around is to do with too much info going down at the same time. But I'll look into that and we'll get it. But I do want the text across the screen, because if you think about it, the bulk of people who know Scottie McCLUE have listened to him on radio. They don't have a clue what he looks like. And somebody coming on brand new to YouTube thinks, who's this? Who's this old guy? What's all this about? They don't say this is the one-stop broadcaster and the first lord of the internet. So we need that right across the bottom of the screen, I would say. Let me know when you want to start a phone number. I'll sponsor you. Professor Numpty Hood, you're terribly, terribly kind. Numpty Hood, Numpty Head. Dr. Heat, you are very, very kind, and it is very, very much appreciated. But as I say, there'd be no holding you to that or anything like that at all. We need to do some sharing. We need to get all this information out there. What I have done, though, at least I've made the laptop run a good bit faster, J-Dog, but it's just not up to that as well. I'm also wondering if the operating system probably is old as well. Your megabytes per second for your Wi-Fi is too weak to run a stream in your laptop. Absolutely. Absolutely, J-Dog. Where would I be without all you wonderful young people and your sound advice? We know what you mean. Fantastic. So there we go. And I'll just do that. That's wonderful. And we'll get some sharing on the go. Yes, it's all to do with megabytes per second, isn't it? All to do with megabytes and frames, I see, and getting the right balance and what have you. Although the systems are so good nowadays, I think they can kind of self-optimize. Have I got that right, J-Dog? Frank McElroy says, good evening. Good evening, Frank. How are we? Evening, Scottie, who says, excellent. Lovely to have you with us. I got your message this morning saying someone's up early. Someone's up early every day, Frank, I tell you. And you should know all about that. So there we go. What have I got here? This is very, very strange. I've got something very weird here, and I'm just going to get rid of it. Whatever it is, it's all the original stuff popping up. Yes, absolutely. Get the old windows in there. Absolutely. Clean up the windows. And oh, fantastic. So there we go. Right. So without doing too much in public, J-Dog, I will get at some point recommendations as to suitable equipment. What are we looking for? Are we looking for notebooks or what that sort of Chromebooks or all that sort of stuff? What are we looking for? I ask you. That's the next step. You and me both, Scottie. Absolutely, Frank. You know all about the early mornings. Of course, McCLUE knows about the late nights. Very often heading off to bed at 4 or 5 in the morning. And you never felt just yourself till about midday, if I'm honest about it, which I always am, of course. Can I have some likes, guys? Like you like. Few thumbs up, few subscriptions. Always welcome. Lovely to have you all with us. We'll just let people know that we're live. Oh, this is... I'll tell you what is a treat, the J-Dog. This is moving faster. And if I did upgrade my Wi-Fi and upgraded my broadcast computer, my streaming computer, then I think we wouldn't have a problem with running this old chat just for the bits and pieces. That would be rather nice, wouldn't it? There you are. I'm just going to do a bit of sharing right now, so that everybody knows that we are live, because I haven't given anybody any warning at all. Not a word was spoken to let people know that McCLUE is live. And I'm just wondering about how the phone would cope. Hi, I'm off to Bundeston tomorrow. Dinky-Doo, Dinky-Doo, Betty. Why is the picture different tonight? Now, what do we mean by different? Right, we need to tell us. We can't just go, why is the picture different? We need to say, this is how it is different. That sort of idea. Yes. There we are. I'll just say a live pop-up. Live pop-up now. Wonderful. Live pop-up right now. Hurry, hurry, hurry. 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 Hurry, hurry, hurry. There we go. I'll just, I'll post this now and let everybody on YouTube know what's happening. What I'm wanting to do, J-Dog, as you well know, is multi-stream to all the platforms. Do you think it would work a lot better with basic upgrades? I think possibly, because it's not rocket science, if we're honest about it. And I have found out that for my sort of... my generation, if you like, you know, I have found out that I've got one of those tech minds. So I think the way the techies think, and that's rather good. Yes, welcome. Welcome. That's the stuff. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There we are. Wonderful stuff. And of course, we want to get the phone in going. That's the big one. So the picture's a little hazy. Let me see if I can do anything about that. Right, we don't want a hazy picture, so leave it with me. Right, here we go. Now, is that any less hazy, I ask you? Do tell. Very, very important. Is the picture less hazy when we do that? So I'll put up less hazy and a question mark. There you go. Wonderful stuff. Less hazy. Is that a better picture? Fantastic. The window tax was still in place. So much from McCLUE Towers make for the Chancellor. Oh, with all these windows. Multi-stream would be great. It means there'll be no excuses not to watch on any platform. Absolutely, J-Dog. And how's the captain tonight? Where are we headed for? Ah, Captain, we're ready. Captain Andrew, we're ready for takeoff. So if you can get yourself to runway 03 and just wait for the notice, we'll get you up as soon as we possibly can. Thank you. Over. There we are. Yes, Scottie, much better. Is that better, Frank? There we are. I think just the optics needed a wee bit of tidying up. The optics needed tidying up. Right. Let's get this show on the road and get this shared out there, I say. The other thing, J-Dog, do you see what I mean by having the captions across the front of the screen that will let people know? Betty McIver says you can't beat North Yorkshire, Scarborough, Whitby, Robin Hood's Bay, Sands End. Oh, Betty, you're talking my language. You are defo talking my language. No doubt about it. So there we go. Just logging in to get everything shared here. J-Dog says, back to school tomorrow after recovering for 2 weeks. Have you made a full recovery, J-Dog? I am delighted to hear that. You will enjoy it. Take care, though. Remember to have your mask on and your mask with you. Yeah, and let everybody know what is what. So there we go. Yes, you can't actually beat that. So back to school tomorrow. My goodness me. I wonder if you'll see a change. There we are. Had you gone back when they were hoping to do all the blended learning? And had you seen that? So that's always an one. There we go. Just a bit more sharing here. Oh, yes. Page. Share the page. That's it. That's the big one. Once we get this done, we are laughing. We're laughing anyway, I think, to be quite honest, because you have to. Otherwise, you would cry. Or as we say in Scotland, you'd grit your eyes out. You'd grit your eyes out. Yes, captions would be great. They're often called widgets. That's it. So we'll get the widgets. So that's what I'm after, J-Dog. I need to get the widgets. But what I'm on to is the wonderful Streamlabs. So there you are. So I've gone on to Streamlabs with OBS, and I'm beginning to feel, I mean, I know I've only seen it a couple of times, but I'm beginning to feel very comfortable with the setup. So if I can get that working, I will be delighted. And I believe that will let me do the multi-streaming. Am I correct? So there we are. And it'll also let people know who the old guy is. Scottie, I'm back to Carlisle next weekend again. Definitely looking for a second property. So there we are. A wee house for you, Scottie, a weekend away. Oh, Kareem, that would be lovely. A wee trip to Carlisle, because you can be down in just over an hour. Just make sure that you stay well within the speed limit. That's the only information I would give you there. Callum Geddes, what happened to Nation Radio? They wanted to do love songs at night. So there you are. So love songs was what they went for in the end, because I think the chat was a bit too much for them. If you think about it, you've got a hit radio station playing the hits, and then the old guy comes on at night. Now, some people might not know the heritage for the old guy at night, that sort of thing. So there you are. But we'll maybe go back on. Streamlabs really easy to work and allow you to do multi-streaming. Definitely much more options on the PC version compared to the mobile. So are you hinting perhaps not go mobile with it yet? So there we are. Go for the PC. And are we better laptop or an actual PC? That's another thing worth having a look at, J-Dog. The big, fast computer, do they still go about? Or are you as well with the wee ones? That sort of idea. You as well with the wee ones, I say. Tell me what you think. Right, that's that going. Good stuff. Everything. Yes, it should be. So, I mean, if we get something like that, J-Dog, it's tiny, as I say. It's not rocket science. And if we get all that going, then we are back in business. And people can access their favourite talk jock. Not shock jock. I don't think I was ever a shock jock. I think that was a term that the press got out for shock jock. I found a bit of press. I don't know if you'll see this one. You tell me what you think. Do you see that the right way around or the wrong way around? I ask you, is that the right way around or is it the wrong way around? We wonder. We need to check. But no, I think that was a term, and the press was so big in these days. I mean, papers are quite small beer now, but they just needed to print something, and it was out there. It was out there, Absolutely. They printed it. It was out there. I'm just going to do a wee bit of popping some stuff up here on the old LinkedIn, because everybody loves that, and it will let them know. And people don't like to miss McClue. The provenance of Scottie McClue is massive, absolutely massive, incredible. So there we are. Everybody wants a piece of the action once it starts. And I know that it's successful. I'll tell you for why. Because I got so much vitriol on social media when we were testing the multi-streaming. The vitriol. Oh! And it would have made a saint blush. But I thought to myself, no, this is a very good sign. This means that everything is intact after 30 years. It's not bad, is it? 30 years. There we are. So, Kareem, I'm delighted to hear about your idea for a new home. And there's a lot of very, very lovely old houses down there. You know, it's a very fine part of the world. There we are. Right, that's gone out there. A warm Bermuda. Oh, Jonas McSpurren, you're in Bermuda. There we are. Have you still got the old harbour in Bermuda? And the old docks, the Royal Navy docks? Yes, for America and West Indies. Fantastic. Afternoon, Scottie. Afternoon all from a warm Bermuda. Jonas McSpurren. Control tower to Scottie. Control tower to Scottie. We have late passengers at the gate. Can you turn back? Over. Yes, on this occasion, if you just like to cut power just now, if you're sitting at 03, and we will send the passenger out via bus to you. The maintenance crew are on their way, ground crew are coming with you with the steps, etc. So if you can just sit tight, because we want this passenger to get the flight. Very important. It's actually, it's our responsibility, this one. Over. So there we go. Right. I saw you created a Streamlabs donation page. Aha! I wonder if that's the same one, right? I was sort of just creating stuff. So we'll have a look at that. Might get enough for a new laptop. Yeah, this is great because when you're finally multi-streaming, you can add a wee widget on. Evening, Scottie, from a dull, dark Leith tenement. Professor Numptyhead, you've never been in a dull, dark Leith tenement in your life. You're sitting out there at the back garden getting the last of the evening in one of these huge residences down at, now wait till I think where you probably are, Barnton. You're sitting down at Barnton out in your garden, Numptyhead. Do not fool me unless you're around talking to one of your tenants. I suppose there's a possibility that's what you're doing. You're visiting one of your tenants, a dull, dark flat in Leith. Top of the evening to Scottie. Sam Up, lovely to have you with us. And Dinky-Doo. It's lovely to have Numptyhead as well, a bit of a top man. So there we are. We'll let everybody know here what's happening, guys. I'm doing a bit of sharing. If you've just joined us, a very warm welcome. If you wonder what on earth you're watching Scottie McCLUE, the world's top broadcaster, the first lord of the internet, and the world's most humble man. Definitely just for you, saying Dinky-Doo. Jonas McSpurren says the Royal Navy Dockyard is still here. Sadly, no cruise ships this year. Fantastic maritime museum there. You should research. The Curator is a great book. There you are. Fantastic. Right. We will have a look at all this. I've got so many books. The house is falling down with books. People say nobody reads books nowadays. Oh, McCLUE reads books. And, you know, I've read so many of them, but I keep them because I cross-reference. I go, I think I remember reading that. And I check the book. And when I go to tidy everything away, I start reading. That's what we do. We start reading. Fantastic. Sorry, didn't finish it, says J-Dog. You can add a wee widget. So when someone donates through the page, it'll pop up on the screen. Is the page fine just sitting there, J-Dog? It's not being a problem or anything like that. So what have we got here? Right. That's fine. There we are. Excellent. Because I've cleaned up the computer and everything, you know, ran it all to get the speeds up a little bit, J-Dog, I've had to log into everything again. Scottie, who was it that used to say, a very good evening, Scottie? A very good evening, Scottie. Was this somebody phone calling? A very good evening, Scottie. Oh, it was probably you, I would think. I wouldn't be surprised. I'll tell you that for nothing. I would never be surprised, Numpty Heat, if it was you that used to say, a very good evening, Scottie. Because you're ever the gent, Numpty Heat. Ever the gent, you know, I mean, proper quality stuff. Guys, if you have got a Reddit account, follow Scottie McCLUE, Scottie_McCLUE on Reddit, because I want to get members. It's pretty well new. I want to get karma. There we are. A PC is always faster than a laptop, but it's your preference to what you think is better. Sometimes a PC can be more expensive. No, but I think, J-Dog, if we're going for this one, we do need the speeds up. Everything has to be for speed, right? We want this fast because there'll be things added on. We don't want adding on the phones later and somebody going, hey, I've got phones, have you? That'll be slowing you down. We don't want all that, J-Dog. I can tell you that for nothing. If you've just joined us, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Fantastic. Right. Let's carry on with this. This is very important, you know. Very important, yes. I'm an athlete, you know. Not just an athlete. No, the page is fine. The page is fine sitting there. And we might look at the PC. Now, if I've got an older PC, but a very fast older PC, is that would that be up to scratch, I ask you, or would that be just wasting time? We could put a new operating system in it. You know, there is always that. There is always that, J-Dog. New operating system. Oh, come on. There we go. Wonderful. Right, I'm going to move all this. I'm just going to have a wee drink of water. Oh, that's lush. Absolutely lush. Somebody was saying the other night, they said, you're not as controversial as you used to be, Scott. I said, look, you can't be as controversial as I used to be. And our new thing is about the chat. So, you know, the audiences aren't huge yet, but that's because only a handful of people know it's on. Most likely not. The PC would be able to handle the new operating system. Excellent, J-Dog, I get you. I'm with it. I think that's the problem. It was fast back in the day, but I think the new operating system would be too much for its RAM. Is that right? Did you see what I just did there? Was that right? Everybody goes on to me about RAM and bit rates. Yes, what are your bit rates? I'm saying my bit rates. Well, it depends what I'm doing with my bits. There we go. Size 9 in the bits, size 8 in the bits. Right, what have we got here? Lovely. Right, we'll just straight into that. Wonderful. And that'll let everybody know that we're on. We're just doing a bit of sharing as time goes on. Using an audio interface or a mixer. No mixer, Alistair. Could you hear on the test transmission? Did you join us for the test transmission about 25 minutes ago there, Alistair? Apparently the audio was a bit dodgy. The components might be able to be upgraded. There are shops that can swap out the components for you. Well, this is it, you know, rather than just fork out for everything brand new, because there must be quite a lot of second-hand computing stuff going a begging. but then it might be at a premium at the moment because of COVID and everybody needs to get onto the net. Can you play a clip of Anna phoning McCLUE as a wee tribute to a wonderful lady who'll be sadly missed? Yes, we might actually have that. I'll have a look for that and see if we can get a wee clip there. The components might be able to be, oh yes, we've already done that. Yes, those of you who were Big Nation radio listeners, just to let you know that very sadly, Anna has passed away. One of the loveliest ladies on the planet, inside and out. So there you are, beautiful looking lady, an international supermodel. Even before there were supermodels. I used to see her in all the top magazines, top flight magazines. You would see Anna modeling the latest in Scottish tweed and things like that. Fantastic. Latest in Italian design. Here is Scottie doing well in my Sober October fundraising for Macmillan. 3 days in, 28 days to go. Excellent, Anthony. Well done. You should do a McCLUE and just stay off it. You know, I mean, I'm not implying it's not my place to tell you what to do with your life, Tony, as you well know. But, you know, it's I'm not missing it at all. There we are. I better send a wee tweet, guys. What do you think? Shall we send a tweet? Let everybody know that we're on. Fantastic. We like that. The tweet did so well the other night. That went up to about 3,500 the last time I looked. 3,500. We left it at 1,000 on the program. And then up it went. Woo! Right. Okay. I'll just take that down there. That'll do us there. And I'll pop up something, a wee photo or something there. There you go. Oh, everything's come up new here. I don't know what we've done, but everything's come up new since we did our all our checks this afternoon. We've got lovely new style. There we are. Right. Okay. And now we're talking. Right, pop that in. So the tweet, guys, we'll see what it goes to tonight. It's always interesting to know. There we go. And I'll just send this anyway. Let people know that we're there. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. R.I.P. Anna, absolutely, Kareem. A lovely, lovely lady. Evening, Scottie. How are we? Dinky-Doo. Alice is saying, I'm playing about with mixers just now. Big difference. Now, when you talk about mixers nowadays, Alistair, are you talking about a solid state machine, or are you talking about something just on your screen? You'll need at least a powerful CPU and 8 gigabytes. So powerful. Any more detail? Always important. J-Dog. So there we are. 8 gigs of RAM. So nothing short of 8 gigs of RAM. Sounds as if we're at the cattle auction there. Right. Make a wee note here. 8 gigs of RAM. 8 gigs of RAM. Lovely. Thank you very much, J-Dog. Excellent stuff. We can do it like that. We don't need to mention proprietary names. A small console. Ah, Alistair, excellent. Yes, indeed. Scottie, you're so well spoken when you read the news. Ah, did you see the news? We popped up the news. Oh, a recht well spoken loon there. Yeah, but you're very well spoken up to heat. You know, you have a nice Edinburgh accent. We like that. Well, you see, to me, although I'm saying it myself, that's what news reading should be like. How does that compare? I can only think of maybe 2 newsreaders on my television screen right now that actually read the news well, and I would say properly. You know, so you might have a broadcaster who's very, very good at doing, say, a travel show or a bit of personality, but the news does not require personality. It requires gravitas and, a good voice, because you're reading the news. You're telling people what's in the news, right? And news reading is my thing. I think if I hadn't decided to go down the more light-hearted route, then I probably would have gone on to be one of your main newscasters on television. So there we are. Wonderful, wonderful. It's not too late, though. I can tell you that. Yes, 8 gigs. So there we are. So the small console, Alistair. Also get a big amount of storage for your PC. Right, so big storage there for storing stuff. Excellent, for storing all the broadcasts. But I think that it's getting very sophisticated now. And that should make it easier. I mean, J-Dog, you know yourself, when you're trying to install stuff and you don't fully understand it because you're new to it, it can be very frustrating and it can take a long time, from that point of view. Yes, Numpty Heed, I absolutely agree with you. I used to work with that gentleman, a fine fellow, also very talented on the music side, I believe. So excellent stuff. Now, what have we got here? Let's just see what's what. Wonderful. I'm just going to check how the tweet's doing, see if that actually went out. There. Yes. I don't know if that tweet's gone out there. I don't think it has. Right, so what I'm going to do, we'll do it again. If at first you don't succeed, do it again. Just do it. That's the thing, isn't it? Yes, you're absolutely right, Numpty Head. Always funny when you hear announcers reading football results. They have to be careful so they don't sound biased. Oh, yes, absolutely. You need to watch that. So you couldn't read it out. You couldn't sort of go, I better not even do it as a joke because people will start complaining. Why did you choose that team? You're funny. We once got a complaint to ITV because I used to sometimes do a little bit of a light-hearted close down. And we got a complaint. Does Mr. Personality think there are any children watching at that time of night? And a note sent to the boss, who called me in and said, can I read you this? And I said, yes, but read me the other two you've got. And he read me one out that said, I do think this gentleman's such a fine newscaster, the kind of person we like to see on our television screens. And I said, what about that? And he went, you'll need to do something about your handwriting. I thought it was very, very funny. There we are. Programs on the computer have now become more demanding over the years. Before, it was so simple to run stuff. I was doing live pop-ups and you just pressed go live and did your stuff. But now it requires this, that, and the next thing. But as you say, once it's set up, you're pretty well on your way with it. They're pretty good. TV program announcers sound like they're skimmies today. I'm absolutely shocked at the standard of television announcing these days, Numpty. Not just because people might sound like they're skimmies, as you put it, but, because a lot of skimmies will be watching the show. But it's the interrupting the ambience of a movie, shouting and bawling about comedy coming up next. I don't actually think that's the way to do it. We never did it. And we promoted all the films. We, made fabulous trailers and what have you. And got great listening. So I don't understand it. I think now they're panicking because there's so much media. You see, if somebody's watching Scottie McCLUE right now, that means they're maybe not watching a commercial television channel. Tot, tot, totity, tot, 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 I see. So there we are. Now, what have we got here? Oh, yes, that's the stuff. Right, so that's gone in. So if anybody's on Twitter, if you could nip, just pin that up, the profile. If you could nip onto Twitter, follow me at Scottie McCLUE and retweet. That would just be fabulous. So there we are. No, I know what you mean. Good evening, Scottie, says the wonderful Susan Shaw. Good evening, Susan. Dinky-Doo. And Susan, I don't know if you heard that Anna, that used to call us on Nation Radio, has sadly passed away. So there we go. I know you were a big Scottie McCLUE fan. Horse racing commentators, football commentators, great. It's the way they build their voice and shout very loud. Well, the shouting very loud itself doesn't do anything, but what does, because that would just distort the microphone, but it's the intensity of what they're saying. So say you were the racing announcer and he's saying, Scottie McCLUE on the outside, Big McWhackle, keeping neck to neck. They're nice pacing. Scottie McCLUE, of course, a slightly older horse, but a big winner. And there he is, just making up some time now. And coming into the final furlong now. And there we go, McWhackle. McWhackle is going some. McWhackle, oh, yes, he's moving. And I'll tell you, we've got the bit of head shaking there. There's Scottie McCLUE just coming into and it's Scottie McCLUE over the line. What an amazing race. Scottie McCLUE there, a well-earned win for that old horse. Fantastic. That sort of idea. So it's building the ambience, building the mood, I say, for commentating. And the footballer knowing when to come out to Smith. Got them. Oh! Straight off the bar. How could I miss that? Listening to the radio and stuff like that. So radio commentating is amazing. Susan Shaw says, that's a shame. She was a lovely lady. A lovely lady, Susan, indeed. Absolutely. So there we are. And I would still have been on Nation Radio, but we got a complaint about somebody that was saying that I was too old or something like that. And then they put love songs on. So there we are. Love songs are on now. So that's that. That's how the cookie crumbles, Susan. Now, oh, yes, there we go. The tweet going out there, doing rather well. We like that. Now, this is just a random pop-up, guys. So, as I say, we don't really have anything. It was to test equipment, which I thought was rather good fun. So it's lovely to be with you all, to have your company, and lots happening. Now, how are we technically? Have you got a good picture? Can you hear what I'm saying? Is the lighting all right? These are the things that we need to sort out as well. Always very important to check that sort of idea. I'll just share this out to a couple of groups, let them know what's what. See if we can manage a wee bit more over to this side. And maybe bring this over a little bit, guys, if you'll pardon me. Sorry for moving you around. Oh. The flickering has stopped now. And when you say the flickering, Anthony, are you talking about the flickering about 25 minutes ago when we were in the test transmission mode? Can I have more likes, guys? I bet you most of you haven't even clicked like, giving me a thumbs up. You see it by the dollar there. Everything's good, Scottie. Thanks, Susan. Appreciated. Fantastic. Right, I'll just... Oh. This is absolutely incredible, you know. All the stuff you can do. Any more subscribers? Hello, Scottie, Dinky-Doo, Craig Cochrane. How lovely of you to join us. How fantastic is this? Absolutely incredible. Sorry I didn't give anybody any warning, but I was just testing equipment. to not much avail, but I think the wonderful J-Dog, who is young and technically minded, has tipped me the wink about the equipment. So I can see great things coming. Great things happening there. Wonderful, wonderful. Because the eventual goal is a phone-in, of course, for the winter. There was flickering the other night as well, but it's stopped now. The sound and video are great. J-Dog says, just found a PC for 500. I know that's a little steep, but it's everything you want for what you're wanting to do. Fantastic. So do you think PC, because there won't be a huge difference between the PC and the laptop price-wise. Jonathan says, Scottie, I'm watching on YouTube. I'm not tech savvy. Where's the sign you speak of? The dollar sign is apparently, but you never need to feel you have to, is apparently on the live chat. And some people it's at the top and some people it's at the bottom. And it's just a little S, a wee dollar sign. But as I say, there is absolutely no obligation for anybody to tap the dollar, although every little would help towards the new computer. Fantastic. I just switched our phone on. I got a notification you were live. Our wonderful Craig. How's things with you? Everything's cool. Try a wee mixer. You'll like it. Get one with effects and reverb. Alistair Campbell. I don't think we're wanting too much reverb. Scottie McCLUE. Fantastic. We like all that. I'm still popping out to some of the groups here, guys. So I think it's important. Yes, very important, in fact, for what I've just found. There we go, that's that. Anyways, Dinky-Doo, Scottie, Eddie Doyle, woo! Everybody's joining us here. We're so much earlier. Is this a better time? Is early on a Sunday better than late? Anyways, Dinky-Doo, Scottie, Dinky-Doo to you, Eddie Doyle. Lovely to have you with us. I didn't know you'd be on at this time, Scottie. Liked and shared, job done as always. Craig Cochrane, you're such a top man. No, Eddie, I didn't know I was going to be on. I popped up to test some equipment and we started chatting. And here we are, 42 minutes later, having chatted with the CH. Fantastic. It's not a bad time to be on, I would think, actually. Somebody told me the other night, and it was young people that are very internet savvy. And I was saying about going on 8 till 9. And they said, yes, 8 till 9, 7 till 9, I think, is your optimum time for the internet talk shows. So interesting. So maybe we don't want to be too late. Right, I'm just sharing in one or two groups here because that's what we do. It's the right thing to do. Okay, fair enough. There we are. Lovely, lovely. Best surprise, having the best talk show on. Willie Song, I thank you. Fantastic. You wait till we get the phones, Willie Song. There you are. It'll either make us or break us. Amen, Willie Song. I was surprised you're on tonight, especially being a Sabbath keeper. Are you a Sabbath keeper, Alistair Campbell? Aha. Shall we sing an unaccompanied hymn to the tune French? Ooh, 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 ooh. There we are. There's a wee bit of plain song for the Sabbath for you, Alistair Campbell. Did you like that? I ask you. Not everyday's cup of tea, you know, but then McClue's not everyday's cup of tea. You know, but it doesn't matter. You see, this is what's interesting. I said to a friend recently about somebody I was talking to, you were referring to me, aha. Do you think internet broadcasting is the way forward, says Tony? Well, of course it is, Tony. Look at what's happened in radio. It's become a jukebox So there's no room for personalities. So there's no future for disc jockeys wanting to put their personality and having a knowledge of music. That's had its day for now, except I noticed in a big city, a big English city, a brand new 24/7 radio station, and it's huge. And that's an interesting way forward. See, when Scottie FM started, the existing stations poo-pooed it. Once McCLUE got stuck in, the existing stations were virtually begging for mercy. Interesting. Scottie for dinner at square sausage, egg, totty, scot and beans. It was yummy. Eddie Doyle, a very fine plate of Scottish fare, I would say. Good for you. Right. I'm just going to pop out another retweet here. See what you think, guys. Yes. We'll put up some of the stuff. Oh, yes. And I'll just let everybody know what's happening. I think it's important that people get to see that McClue's on. People go, oh, you're still about? What are you on? What are you on? Fantastic. Because there's never been anything to beat it. Square, I meant. Yes, the square sausage. Lawn sausage. Anybody call it lawn? Anybody call it square slice? I would like everybody to put down what they call that sausage. Lawn or square slice. All right. There we go. Now, what else have I got here? I'm just taking my time here because this is we're very, very chilled. Have you noticed that? We have two rules on Scottie McClue's shows. One is we don't stress and we don't worry. Okay, we don't stress and we don't worry. So what's your problem with that? I ask you. There we are. We don't stress and we don't worry because there's enough stress and worry in the world at the moment, I have to say. And we don't really want that. We do not want it. Okay, there you are. That's you all told. As if you didn't know. Now, what I'm doing, what have we got there? Ah, yes. That's the stuff. And we're just getting all this sharing right. As I say, once the phone in takes off, the wizard of the big switchboard can do that. Like, do you like, everybody? Lawn sausage, says Alistair Campbell. And Eddie Doyle's calling it square sausages. I might actually put it in a tweet. I'll just put in, yes, LORNE, lawn or square slice. And we should really start, what we should start for this is a poll. Lawn or square slice. So there we go. Just putting that out there. And out here. Showing here. I was telling somebody one night, this is what we used to see in the big sale rooms. When there were works of art for sale, they would say, now the the ribbons, yes. What can we say? Showing here. And it would all be held up by the porters, dressed in white aprons and things. Look at my last message. Don't know if it appeared, though. Right, I'll have a wee look, J-Dog. I've maybe missed it, you see. Yes, so in answer to your question, Anthony, yes, internet's the way ahead, but you've got to get it right because there's so much media out there. And when people say to me, but you're not getting huge figures, I say, not at the moment because there's so much media out there. So there you are. You're not going to get huge figures because there's so much media out there. Best surprise, Willie's song. Surprisingly, BCF fans being sold under one of the supermarkets. I won't mention which one. J-Dog. Even better, would they deliver? I ask you. So there we go. Much better, yes. Sausages or links? Well, I've just put up, we can't put up too much. I've put it up on Twitter here, so you can say, I mean, is the lawn sausage, it's bound to be a Scottish thing. But surely you must get, because I'm used to, when I toured with the theatre, I used to get a full Scottish breakfast. When I toured in England, it was a full English breakfast. When I was in Newcastle, it was a full Geordie breakfast. And when I was in Yorkshire, it was a full Yorkshire breakfast. Ah, full Yorkshire breakfast, yeah, the porkers and all that, lovely. You know, so that sort of idea. So you need to tell me what we think. Yes. So there we are. Now, I'm just putting out here some other stuff that will help you. All right. So there we go. And that is it. Mm-hmm. So if you're out there, there we go. What else have we got? Right, I'm doing a tweet for you to let us know, what does the Geordie breakfast consist of, Scottie? Do you know, Alistair Campbell, I'm just trying to think. A lot of it was to do with the kind of hash brown thing, I think, if I remember. I think you had the hash browns in it, but there was something else. There was something. I'm just wondering if it could have been haggis in the Geordie breakfast. I would need to check up. It's a long time ago. Yes, Scott, it can deliver free delivery. Ah, J-Dog. Excellent. There we go. Guys, if anybody's feeling flush, you know, I'll set up maybe a wee GoFundMe for this, but if anybody's feeling flush, then at the top, you'll see you can either PayPal or you can GoFundMe, but don't feel obliged just if you fancied it. Craig Cochran says, my wife told me sex is better on holiday. That wasn't a nice postcard to receive. I have a friend, and him and his wife love going out, and she goes out on a Wednesday and he goes out on a Friday. So very good. We like all that nonsense. Now, what have we got here? Right. That's that. That's that. Good. Right, what I'm doing, guys, I'm just sending out another tweet, and we'll see what this does. Right, so I'm 1 over. Oh, there's my answer there. Okay. Right, I've just sent another tweet as well, just to ask people, square, slice, or sausage. How much is in your GoFundMe page? I think it should be enough to cover it. And that's already gone into stuff, J-Dog. So there we go. That was the one that got the phone and all that originally. So you see, what you've got to remember, the GoFundMe page has been set up now for, I think, 2 or 3 years. I can't remember exactly. The time flies in. And, you know, at that stage, we hadn't even got a phone that you could stream on. So it's been tremendous. So what I might do, what are you saying? Don't do the mobile streaming on the phone. Is that just going to slow it down? We did it the other night and it worked for a while and then it just kind of gave up the ghost. Now then, that sort of idea. Right. So there's that tweet going up there. So we'll see how it does. I shall keep an eye on it and see what's what. Fantastic. Tony says the Scottish breakfast is great, but the best brekkie has to be the Ulster fry. You don't need anything else for the rest of the day. Do you remember Tina? Tina that used to phone Scottie McCLUE. And Tina and I talked about the Ulster fry. There was double yolkers, porkers in it, fried bread, black pudding, white pudding, fruit pudding. All that. Is that any good as an accent? I don't know. 35 people have seen the tweet already, and it's just gone up there. Is that 37? Is that not just amazing? Yes, so we'll see what's what. Excellent stuff. So we'll get there, J-Dog, and we'll get our stream going and get our phone-in going and that sort of idea as well. Of course, the more you're willing to shell out, I saw about a company that does all the phones and everything as well. Tell Johnson you're deducting his wages to fund the phone-in, Scottie. Good one, Craig. That'll go down well. Johnson's been with us for 40 years. I think streaming using the app should be fine for just now. Just maybe think about upgrading your Wi-Fi. Yes, but streaming on the phone using the app. There we are. I remember Tina from Ulster and her lamb shank. Absolutely. Was it not a ham shank? Was it a lamb shank? So there we go. Excellent stuff. We used to do the smoked beef, and the ham shank was very popular as well. 62 have seen the tweet. Has anybody retweeted it? There we are. I didn't put a photo on it, so it's just the tweet. Tina from Ulster, she was a terrific character. She really, really was. Fantastic. What have we got now? I'm just saying 71 have seen the tweet, and it's just up there, 71. Anybody else remember Tina from Ulster? Fantastic. Anybody know what a Geordie breakfast consists of? Alistair Campbell has asked a very fair question. What would be in a Geordie breakfast? Is there a kind of local Newcastle dish like, Newcastle, like, yeah? So, like, you get scouse in Liverpool. You can have a pan of scouse, which is a sort of stew. Yeah, it's a stew, a pan of scouse. 86 have seen the tweet. That's pretty good, isn't it? Yes, I'm talking about the mobile app. Excellent, J-Dog. We'll maybe try that. Professor Numpty, Scottie, I don't want to be AWOL, but the Doug needs permission to go on temporary leave. Permission granted, Professor Numpty, sir. So there we are. The wee Doug comes first. McCLUE can fit in any time, but dogs come first. Very important. Excellent. Scottie, do you never have your dog in the same room as you whilst you're streaming? Eddie, he just goes to sleep, He's not alert now like yourself. Remember, he's 14 next week, so he just goes to sleep because he's witnessed so much streaming. We did have him up to see the listeners one day. And if you look at my reason that I can't be the president of the United States, 106 have seen the tweet. And it's only a minute or two ago. 113, I beg your pardon. My goodness me. What is going on? 119. Oh, we're on fire here. 120. We like that. Scottie, oh yes, the dog. So, no, I don't really bother. He just, as I say, he'll be sleeping in his armchair, giving it this. He loves that. And but he used to come up a lot. And, of course, old Lord Reith never missed a show. He was in the studio every night. And a gentleman phoned to say, do you have a dog in the studio? I said, how do you know? He said, I hear him every night. I'm blind. I hear his collar medal. That gentleman still keeps in touch with me. Fantastic. 129 have seen the tweet. We like that. Wonderful. So you see, we can get all that going as well. And, you know, if I can get onto Periscope, because I had a wee difficulty with it linking with my Periscope J-Dog, then that's another fabulous platform, you know. And we're definitely there. Any more likes going, guys? Likety like. 140 have seen the tweet. Never a dull moment. 140. Just popped up. 140 have seen the tweet. So there you go. Yes, wonderful. Ah, yes, the dollar is a little dollar sign at the bottom of the chat. Who was asking? I've noticed you're having played some clips recently. Yes, 1 or 2 wee clips, Alistair, just to keep everybody into the loop. I think that's very important. I forgot to do that, actually. So there we are. Yes, a few clips. People like that because I notice that people have got a short attention span. The figures are very good. The watching figures are actually very good for Scottie. Although we've only got a handful watching right now, it runs into thousands when you look at who's watched. So a lot of people, I think, aren't registering. And, you know, they're not logging into YouTube. They're not necessarily subscribing. I mean, we had 3,500 listeners the other night, and they didn't all subscribe. That would make a terrific difference. You know, so this is where subscribing is so important. And, yes, we do a few wee clips, Alistair, just to keep everybody up to. Did you like my Scottish psalm singing? We can't do too much of it in case it all comes under copyright, but it's good to have that. And so what I was saying, yes, I'm on TikTok. I don't know if you're all big TikTokers, but if you go onto TikTok and you look at Scottie McCLUE, you'll see some TikToks pop up. And quite interesting because if I get another 250 followers, then I can live stream on TikTok as well. So there are. J-Dog found another PC for 250. That's even better. Yes, and J-Dog, it may well be as good. In 1998, I went into a wee shop in Manchester and I said, could you build me an internet-ready PC? And it was about 200 quid, and it was outstanding, absolutely outstanding for the time. A tremendous value. It really was brilliant. So I think, yes, we'll get there. We'll maybe even get something for about the 200 mark. So, Eddie, that's the only reason. Just the dog is knocking on a little bit. He's approaching his 100th birthday. Well, 14, 17, 20, 98. He's going to be 98 next week. You know, so I think we can excuse him pause. Excuse Boots. Excuse him pause. I think that's rather important. Still haven't had any more chat about the full Geordie breakfast. I would like a bit more of that, if that's all right. Full Geordie breakfast. Anybody know? Greg Cochran. My dad was never sexist. He beat me and my sisters equally. Oh, Craig. Harsh, not politically correct, dear boy. You know, although sadly, I dare say, you know, that sort of thing. But when McCLUE was young in school, you got a whack. You know, you got a whack. And parents did all the whacking as well. You know, a great thing was when a lad was about 15 or 16, you would hear a father say, he's getting a bit too old for taking outside. That was, oh no, he's too old now for me taking my belt to him. I'll need to take him outside. Could you imagine that sort of chat? I mean, shocking, absolutely shocking. No need for it at all. Never better when they banned that belt at school. And of course, people were going, never did me any harm. Just turned them into a psycho, I think. That was it. Never did them any harm. Are you kidding? They spend their life completely nuts because of it. Terrible. There we go. Now then, I'm just doing a bit of stuff here. Groups. I think we'll go for the groups, actually. I think the groups like all this. There we are. Fantastic. And what I'll do, I'm just going to make a wee change here, guys. Just bear with me. This is good. If everybody can share as well, of course, all the time, fantastic. Very good of you and appreciated. And YouTube.com. It's all the typety type that you have to do nowadays on the internet. That's the only thing. But then again, we still have to type up the program schedules for ITV. J-Dog, what size of processor and RAM is in the PC you found? Very, very important. We want to know. There we go. Wonderful stuff. So good. Yes, we need to know about the size of the processor. So there you are. And we want to know about the RAM. So tell us more, processor size and RAM. Any likes going, guys? Like. Susan Shaw says, good night, Scottie. Stay safe. And you, Susan, take great care of your dear self. And Dinky-Doo, as we say. Fantastic. So there you are. That's Susan. It's time McCLUE was away. Tremendous show tonight for a random pop-up. We didn't even tell anybody. Incredible. So lovely to have had you all with us tonight. Very much appreciated. And just to let you know, the phone-in is on its way. Just a question of installing the right equipment, getting everything running properly, and then it's Dinky-Doo time. 8 gigabytes of RAM. So there we are, 8 gigabytes of RAM. What about processor? So 8 gig of RAM is good, says Eddie Doyle. I would imagine, like football managers that go to watch the game, everybody watching the game's a football manager, and I would imagine that everybody on the internet is aspiring to become a technocrat. So there you are. I'm amazed that old McCLUE can get anything working at all. Fantastic. So we're very chuffed with that. Right. Going to push off now. And there we are. Wonderful. We'll go one more. I built my PC a couple of years ago. It's got 8 gig of RAM and i337 gigahertz. Is that what I'm needing? i3C7 gigahertz. i3C7 gigahertz. i3C7 gigahertz. Lovely. We will look into that, Welly song. Where would I be without all you beautiful people? How fantastic is that? And although we've got all the beautiful people on here, we might get the odd numpty head when the phone-in starts. You never know. What do you think, Professor Numpty Head, who has studied numpty heads all your life? There we are. You would know, wouldn't you? Tremendous. So there we are. Processor AMD Ryzen 5. Craig Cochran says, I never had the belt, but I did have a teacher who flung a duster at me and it hit me right on the forehead. Oh, for goodness sake. So there we are. AMD Ryzen 5 3400. There we are. Oh, yes. What about that, J-Dog? What do we think? Willie Song, I never had the belt either, but they did take us on a school trip back in the time. Back in the day. How fantastic is that? Right. I shall push off. I say thank you for joining me tonight. This was supposed to just be a 2-minute pop-up. But, of course, we always get carried away because we get the chat going. And people like the chat. It's just a bit of chill-out chat on a Sunday evening. Just what we like. Nothing gets past me, of course. Bit of chill-out chat. And I'm just going to share this. Dinky-Doo, Scottie. Happy search for PCs. I'll let you know how it goes. J-Dog, my dad got a PC brand new online. 16 gig of RAM for $260. 16 gig. Yes. So the more RAM, the better. There we are. Fantastic. Right. Off we go. Off we jolly well go. Thank you very much for joining us. And we will no doubt be having more random pop-ups during the week. Keep fantastic. Stay fabulous. And this is Scottie McCLUE saying to every single one of you, thanks for watching and Dinky-Doo. Ta-ra, Lars. Good night, Craig. Ta-ra, Lars. Night, J-Dog. Thank you very much indeed. And ta-ra, Lars.